Sometimes we all go through a time in our lives where we feel like we just don't fit in. Maybe it was picture day and you didn't know it and you forgot to do your hair that morning. When you got to school, you realized it was picture day and you didn't fit in with everyone else because you were the only one who had forgotten to look extra nice. That is exactly how the little duckling felt in The Ugly Duckling by Hans Christian Andersen, until one day when he woke up and realized that he was not actually as ugly as he thought. Now, when I point to you all, we're all going to say together, "Will I ever find a family?" Let's try it once. Will I ever find a family? Great job. One day, there lived a mother duck. This mother duck did not have any children yet, though, because she was waiting for her eggs to hatch. She was so excited. As she was waiting, she just sat on her eggs to keep them warm. One day, she felt them begin to move, though. She quickly got off and watched as they began to crack, crack, crack. She was so excited when out popped her first baby duckling. After a few days, all of the ducks had hatched except for one. Now, the one egg that had not hatched yet was bigger than the rest, and darker than the rest, and honestly uglier than the rest. As they were waiting for this last egg to hatch, all of the baby ducklings were getting restless. They wanted to go to the pond and play, but Mother said that they had to wait for the last egg. When the last egg finally hatched, Mother was shocked. It was the ugliest duckling she had ever seen in her life. Instead of the beautiful yellow feathers like the rest of her babies, this one had brown feathers with black spots. But she knew she was gonna love her children the same, no matter what. She took them all to the pond to learn basic duck things. All of the other baby ducklings quickly began to quack and swim like any normal ducks. But the ugly duckling had a little bit of trouble. He couldn't quack right. Quack! Quack, quack! He couldn't get the sound to sound right. But that was okay. Mother decided to teach him how to swim. But he wasn't able to do that either. And this embarrassed Mother. She took her babies to a new part of the pond and sent the ugly duckling off into his own little corner all by himself. This made the ugly duckling so sad. That night, he decided that he had to leave home. He couldn't be an embarrassment to his family anymore. As he walked along, he said to himself, "Will I ever find a family?" As he walked, he saw a goose family. They looked nice. "Honk! You are the ugliest duckling I have ever seen in my life. Honk! What are you doing all by yourself anyways?" "Quack! I'm called the Ugly Duckling, and my family didn't want me, so I'm off trying to find a new family." "Honk! Well, even if you're ugly, you can stay with us. We'll take care of you." That made the ugly duckling so happy, and he stayed with the goose family for a little while, until one day a hunting dog came, and the geese flew away to safety, but the ugly duckling just ran, and he could never find his goose family again. He went on his way through swamps and ponds, and he mumbled to himself, "Will I ever find a family?" One day he came upon a farmhouse, and there was a farmer and his wife. "Look, honey, it's a duck." "Horace, what are we gonna do with a duck?" "Honey, we can use the duck's eggs." "You're so right, dear. How could I not think of that?" And the little duckling got to live with the farmer and his wife for several years. But as the duck grew bigger, he wasn't laying eggs like the farmer and his wife had hoped. So they eventually kicked him out as well, and he had to go on his way again. He said to himself, "Will I ever find a family?" As he walked along, he came across a pond that had the most beautiful birds he had ever seen in his life. They were swans, but he knew he had no chance of them taking him in. He was just the ugly duckling. But suddenly, a swan swam up to him. "Hank, you are beautiful. I thought I would was the most beautiful bird around, but I had never seen you. Quack! What are you talking about? Quack! I'm the ugly duckling. Buddy, I don't think you've looked at yourself recently. Hank, you are beautiful. And with that, the ugly duckling looked at his reflection in the pond, and he had become the most beautiful swan with the most white feathers he had ever seen in his life. He swam into the pond to join his new swan family. One day, the farmer and his wife came to see the birds. They threw breadcrumbs to the birds. The farmer said to his wife, "Darling, do you recognize that bird? That looks like the ugly duckling we helped take care of." "You are right, Horace. I believe it is." "Well, I am so glad that we were able to take care of the most beautiful bird in the country." "So right, my dear." And with that, the ugly duckling, who was not so ugly after all, lived with his new swan family for the rest of his life.